Ms. Director Robinette, appreciate you coming last year, and we meant to have you come back, and with our schedule, we were just not able to do that. So I'm going to hit you with some things here that I would have rather prepared you for. But how many ad litems do you have working?
Currently, we have 34 full-time attorneys ad litem and around 40 contractors. That contractor number fluctuates given ups or downs on caseloads.
Okay. I have no doubt, I've talked to many, and who I've been very impressed with. And I have no doubt that the vast majority are doing a good job. But we get complaints from parent counsel and from defense attorneys that there are some, and I don't know if you're aware of this or not, that there are some who never interview the kids, or often do not interview the kids before they go to court. And oftentimes act as almost the, what do you call it in court, the secondary counsel to DHS, that they're not actually advocating for the children. And again, when we come back, when we ask the parent counsel attorney, well, why aren't you reporting this? Well, because everybody works with the same people with an AOC. And so my next question would be, is that not a conflict? But would it surprise you that you have any ad litems who actually don't actually interview the kids?
It would surprise me if we have ad litems who don't interview the kids at all. We certainly have attorneys that I suspect they do not interview or have as much contact as we would like to see. When I testified before the committee earlier in the year, I did explain that we have an evaluation process. We've tried to make that as comprehensive as possible, and that includes getting input from stakeholders. So this year we're finalizing our evaluation period, and when I checked the other day, we had about 1,000 surveys back from stakeholders. Many of those were parent councils. The primary people who respond to those surveys are foster parents and CASA advocates. Judges also respond to that, parent counsel, other private counsel will have the opportunity, DCFS, agency attorneys. So we try to be comprehensive in gathering that information. And when we do get complaints about contact or other issues, we try to look into that. Part of the reason we try to make that comprehensive is that we may have a complaint. We may have a parent counsel or a foster parent who their perception is the attorney has not had contact with the child. But then when we verify that with the file review, we see documentation of the contact that they've had with the client, maybe at DCFS during visitation or other settings, maybe at the school. And so it may be that that person just doesn't know the contact that they have, or they've had substantial communication with other stakeholders who have direct communication with that child. So we try to look into those issues. I will tell you that we have canceled contracts. We have fired attorneys when we have looked into those complaints and found merit to that. We've also instituted corrective action, including corrective action specifically with demonstrating to us that they are having adequate contact with their clients.
And you seem to be very competent. And all of this is friendly, at least for now, with you. Don't want to lie. But wouldn't the system be better if it were easier for folks to report problems and perceived problems up the ladder to you?
I'm not sure what you mean by easier. We have made the process to file complaints or to give us positive information about attorneys available online. We do have the annual surveys. We do try to gather information. So we're certainly open to making it easier. But right now, certainly you have indicated that you have complaints from other folks. I do not believe that I have discouraged anyone from giving me a complaint.
And I don't think you have. If that's what you took from what I said, I apologize. I don't think you have. It's the system. It's not the people. It's people that, is there not a conflict if somebody believes that your job may be affected if they report somebody else, even though that may not be the case? Is that, and it's not just one or two people who believe that. And so, you know, and some of the, you know, criticism of ad litems come from other ad litems. But in the case sometimes of parent council, it's, you know, we're afraid that our contracts won't be renewed if we're too critical, and we're too critical of judges, if we appeal, if we report problems with ad litems, because that's one of the first questions we come back and say, why didn't you do this, this, and this?